Now I like to show you the creative way of raw conversion. What I do to create a unique kind of contrast and detailed look, I do a double raw conversion. So I like to start with the basic raw conversion, what I showed you in the tutorial before. So I fix the exposure just a little bit, the temperature, and I sharpen the image. Very important is the part of the workflow options that you click here, the little icon, and open in Photoshop as a smart object, or you can press the Shift key, then open image turns into an open object. But that's very important. You have to open this raw file as an object in Photoshop. So I press the Shift key and open this image as an object. Now I like to do the second raw conversion. Don't duplicate this layer. If you duplicate this layer and click on the little icon right here and do some changes, these changes will affect on both layers. And that's what you don't like to do. So I undo this effect and I delete this layer, and what I like to do is I like to create a new smart object via copy. That's very important. And when you now double click on this layer, change something in the raw dialog, the effect will just be here in the second raw conversion. And that's great. So you can do 2 different raw conversions. You also can do 3 different raw conversions. It's up to you. I like to do 2 different raw conversions. So I double click on that icon. And now I play with 2 sliders to create a high contrast image. So I play with the fill light to lighten the shadows up. And then you will get some details in the picture. And if I use the fill light slider, I also use the black slider for more contrast. See? It's like an HDR effect, but I don't like the color in the picture. I don't like the color like that. It's absolutely too much saturation. So I lower the saturation right here. I also can add a color cast. A color cast are not bad. A color cast is very often a personal signature. And I can play with the blacks just a little bit, the exposure. Yeah, I like the picture like that. It's not normal, but that's what I like. If you like this color cast, no problem, just do it. I prefer here the warm tone in the picture. And what I do else is, if you have much details in the picture, play with the clarity slider. The clarity slider right here add contrast into the midtones. And then you will get more contrast in the picture. But don't do too much. I prefer here something around 50. If I done that all, I click OK. And what I have now is a creative raw conversion. Look at the before, after. And that's what I like. Now, if you like to have the color of the first raw conversion and the contrast of the second, you can change the blend mode. If you change the blend mode into luminosity, you will have the color of the first raw conversion and the contrast of the second one. And look what happened. Before, after. That's amazing. I can do that the whole time. Before, after. I can't stop. Okay, enough. But now you know my technique for adding more contrast, more details in the raw conversion. That was my creative double raw conversion.